wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestler Weekly Presents. I'm your host, Scottie Richardson, back for another week here in the Wrestler Weekly Man Cave Studios in Raleigh, North Carolina. Man, I'm glad to be back another week and more time that we can spend together looking through the old wrestling magazines, the programs, the posters, the ticket stubs, the packages. I got plenty of them. I mean, I got tons down here. We're going to go through that tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed last week's episode where we did a little spotlight on Nick Bockwinkel of the AWA fame. This week we have another great show for you lined up. But before we get into it, I'd like to say how we at Wrestler Weekly are just excited that we have connected. And I talk to fans all over the U.S. and all over the world, actually. You know, my second biggest country that are fans of Wrestler Weekly are actually India. And so India has a wrestling magazine. That's right. Too Sweet Zine, the magazine. And on the back cover is a full-page layout of Wrestler Weekly and all of our memorabilia, merchandise, and things where you can connect with us. If you would like t-shirts, you can go to ProWrestlingTees.com. They do a great job for us, so shout out to Ryan and the guys. But ProWrestlingTees.com/Wrestler Weekly, you can find all of these t-shirts, plus the Family Bacon Wrestling. I just might have one right here for you to check out. You know the book. Here's the t-shirt. Established 1972. That's when I was born. Family Bacon Wrestling. And that's the book. That's right. That's the book that you can find on Amazon. That's right. Family Bacon Wrestling. And people have asked me about the new book. Yes, Belt versus Belt, the most historic wrestling match of our time, is hopefully coming out soon. We have other book projects in the works, so stay tuned for all things Wrestler Weekly. Where can you find us? You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, here at YouTube, our Wrestler Weekly Presents show, obviously. Subscribe and you'll get the show in your inbox when it drops. Usually drops on Wednesday nights. And also at Wrestler Weekly is our handle, at Wrestler Weekly. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We have constant daily info. Hashtags are all the norm now. And so you can find the discussion points and many, many different things there at Wrestler Weekly. This week's show, are you ready? Because I'm excited about it, because I'm doing a show, whole show is on one wrestler. We talked about Nick Bockwinkel last week, 2 weeks ago, Ric Flair. This week's episode is all about Dory Funk Jr. That's right, Dory Funk Jr. I mean, this guy, when you know, sometimes the word legend gets thrown around and really tossed around for each and every, anybody that stepped in the ring, you kind of get a legend. But, you know, when we talk about a legend, we talk about a historic wrestling figure. It doesn't get much better than Dory Funk Jr. I know 2 seasons ago, I had my great friend Mike Mooneyham, and Mike was one of the reviewers on my book. Mike and I had a great discussion, and we actually touched a little bit on Dory Funk Jr. Dory was Mike's favorite wrestler there for that time. And you know, when you look back on just the historic run, I mean, we're talking about 4 years. Let me let that sink in for you. 4 years. Dory Funk Jr. held the NWA. That's right, the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. The big boys. It doesn't get much better than that. And he was the champion for 4 years. I mean, it is just amazing. He was the world champion for the NWA when I was born. That's right. And, you know, I've been able to meet Dory throughout the years in certain different events, Fan Fest, those kinds of things. And I've gotten to know the family a little bit. And shout out to his wife, Marty. I mean, the things that she does. She and I have had great conversations about the animal and the Humane Society and the different things that happens with. We're both dog lovers. You know, my dog is Jeter. If I say it too loud, he may walk in here. But Jeter is a Labrador Retriever mixed, a black Retriever mixed with a pointer. Now, what that means, if you're into the dog world, you understand that around between 8 and 9 o'clock, my dog is ready to take a walk. And you know what? It's his hunting skills. He has to find those rabbits. He has to find those squirrels. He has to make sure people aren't coming into his territory. And so he's got that hunting dog ability. And he doesn't never catches anything, but he likes to sniff around. But Marty and I have had great conversations. I myself have donated to a lot of the charities, and especially ones of her calls. And Marty sent me just a beautiful thank you card. Scottie, thank you. Love Marty and Dory, and just can't thank those people enough. You know, they're in my hometown, or my home state of Florida. They're in Ocala. My family's in Jacksonville. You know, the doctor, Reggie, is in Florida. Matter of fact, Miles and I, my son Miles, we just got back from seeing Grandpa and Grandma, and that's always a great time. But Dory Funk Jr., I mean, what can I say? When we talk about match of the year, you know, going back to when the awards, the award mags, you know, I love collecting the award mags, PWI, and then even before that, Sports Review had the awards. And, you know, going back and looking, match of the year with Harley Race, when Harley defeated Dory, that was a match of the year in 1973. And then 1974, Jack Briscoe is now the champion, Dory trying to get it back. But when you talk about Dory Funk Jr. and Jack Briscoe, electric. Those two in the ring, dynamite. I mean, I'm getting chills just thinking about the marquees. Could you imagine going back in that era? I mean, that was just the real deal Holyfield, man. And seeing that marquee of Dory Funk Jr., champion, Jack Briscoe, the chaser. And then you fast forward a few years later, Jack Briscoe, the champion, Dory now the contender, Harley Race mixed in there, Sam Muchnick. I mean, it doesn't get much better. I mean, it doesn't get much better. And so tonight, remember, it's season 5, Fab 5. I've got 5 different magazines that we're going to show you tonight. And I've actually mixed in some programs. I'm a big program guy, so I've mixed in some programs. But if you want to find Family Bacon Wrestling, go to Amazon.com. All right, let's see what we got for you over here. Now, remember, this is not one of the 5. But if you remember, we had a package break a few weeks ago, and this was one of the programs in the package break. So I wanted to bring it back out. If you missed that episode, I wanted to throw it out. It's just iconic. Tonight, Dory Funk Jr. versus Tim Woods. Now, I will tell you, I have got an article. The article's it's done. It's been done for actually 2 years. But I have not released it yet. I'm waiting. Going to release it. I will release it. And Brack Beasley, my great friend here in North Carolina, he's a huge Mr. Wrestling Tim Woods fan. But I will release it, Brack, I promise you. But this is one of the programs that they wrestled. This was in Atlanta City Auditorium. This is the Ringsider, Georgia program. But that, I wanted to shut, that's not one of my 5. So don't, I know we're going 6, but I'm getting ready to give you the 5. Are you ready? I'm going to start out with a bang. February 1972. I was born 10 famous stars answer this question. Is Dory Funk a better wrestler since becoming champion? This one is signed Dory Funk Jr., signed on the cover. Now, I've had many conversations about this magazine. And here's the conversations. I am a belt magazine fan. You know, I'm gonna adjust my camera just slightly. Sorry about that. But I want to get the full shot in here. If you can see here, they don't, and I'm gonna pull this one back up just for reference. It's not one of the 5, just a reference. But if you remember the NWA title, this is before the red velvet 10 pounds of gold, the NWA title. And man, how many times have my friends, we have talked about this, Bobby Norton, Tom Urvelli, Bill Pavlik, Matty Montcalm, Dr. Reggie, Mike Leotis of Wrestler Weekly. How many times have we talked about why did they not back up the camera and get the full shot of this title on the cover? Oh man, what a missed opportunity. But here we have it. Starting out with a bang, the hot mag, boom, there it is. The Wrestler, February 1972. All right, the next 4 that I have for you are all programs. Okay, these are all programs. And I'm going to tell you, there are 3 of the 4 are different territories. This is what I like about programs. Now this one is the official U.S. wrestling magazine, The Body Press. So automatically, if you're a collector and a fan like myself, you know The Body Press in that territory. But if not, let me tell you, Body Press, that is Detroit. That is the Sheik, Bobo Brazil, all those famous guys up there, Mighty Igor, just tons of guys here. So let me show you this one. And I'm gonna open these up tonight so I can show you the card inside. This is Dory. This is, I'm gonna get the date. Now this program was only $1 back in the day. But I'm gonna open these up tonight just so we can get a full feel on them. And this is a nice kind of hard stock, a little bit different. Not the glossy. It's not a glossy, but kind of a hard stock. Now the pages inside are glossy, like a regular magazine. A little bit different than the paper. This is kind of a glossy feel. A lot of pages inside, which is not typical of a program. But as I open this up, on the back page, this one is actually signed by Tony Marino. Oh, what a bonus. Tony Marino, a bonus signature in this program. And let's get to the card. And this is also signed inside. Let's see. Big spotlight on Tony, a big spotlight on Mighty Igor. This is the Sheik. You can see, you know, he was always involved in just scuffles and now. So what I'm finding out, this is not a specific program. This is actually their Spotlight magazine. So if I go to the opening here, talks about plenty of action, Bobo Brazil, the Sheik. On the back, we've got all the TV and the channels. Now, you know, my wife, Sarah, her family is all from Detroit. And so I've had many conversations about different venues and different things. Cobo Hall, you know, that's where a lot of these events took place. And so this is just, it's actually just a preview of an upcoming year. And I would have to go through it. I'm not going to have any more dead air to go through it, but looks phenomenal. And I love that Dory is on the cover, because that's synonymous with the NWA World Title, traveling the world. traveling each territory. The champion comes in, and if you remember Dory on the mic, all business, all business. He got there. It wasn't a big hoopla. Now he's going to tell you exactly what we're going to do. Tonight, I'm going to get in the ring. I'm going to wrestle. I'm going to work an arm. I'm going to work a leg. I'm going to put the different holds on you. I'm going to do whatever I can, Indian Deathlock, whatever it might be, and I'm going to win the match. That's Dory. How about this one? Same pose. Boom. Body press. Same pose. Different. This one says Official Wrestling Magazine, only 75 cents, which tells you it predates this program. This is Series 4 on the cover. This is what the Tournament of Champions is all about. Souvenir picture review. World Tag Team Challengers have been picked. Let's open it up. See what's inside. Boom, automatically Bobo Brazil on the back. The Detroit version U.S. title. Tremendous. A lot of photos inside. Now this one has an event. Here we go. Cobo Convention Arena, Friday, December 10th, 1971. The Sheik versus Chief White Owl, the Great Igor versus Dingo the Sundowner, Bobo Brazil versus Chris Tolis. And a lot of matches in between. Eric the Red, Wild Bill Curry, Dominic DiNucci, Waldo Von Erich, Killer Tim Brooks, who we just lost here recently. And thoughts and prayers go out to his family still as we remember the great Killer Tim Brooks. But this is a nice article on Whipper Watson, the former NWA World Champion inside. And again, here's Cobo. I want to show you this. The Cobo Hall or Cobo Convention Arena, as it was called back in 1971. But just another great one. Dory on the cover. The Detroit territory spotlighting the NWA World Champion. Two more. And then we're going to open a package. Or two, we'll see. Now, was able to get this one signed by Dory himself. And it says on the cover, "To my friend, Scottie Richardson, thank you for the memories. Dory Funk Jr., the Ringsider, Friday, January 15th, 1971. This is one that I have cherished and will cherish. I've got an 8-year-old son, Miles, and he's going to get it one day. But, I mean, what an awesome program on the cover with the world title. And let's open it up and see what we got inside. See if we can find a card here on the... Now, this one is the Ringsider. Now, that's Georgia. So now we've gone from Detroit to Georgia. And it looks like on this wrestling card tonight, we have got the Assassins, who are the Georgia Tag Champions, against Ray Gunkel and Buddy Fuller. 6-man round robin elimination tournament winner. Here we go. 6-man round robin elimination tournament winner to wrestle for the World's Championship against Dory Funk Jr. Here are the 6 men. Kubla Khan, Bob Griffin, El Mongo, Luke Graham, Buddy Colt, and Paul DeMarco, who's pictured on the back. The winner gets Dory Funk Jr., and I will tell you, good luck. And so, some great stuff here in this one. A lot of photos inside. Look at this one. Next Friday night, Wrestling Sports Arena, Memorial Drive. Dory Funk Jr. will defend his World's Heavyweight Championship against the winner of tonight's tournament. Don't forget, you can get your dinner box at KFC back in the day. But this is just an awesome program. I'm so happy to own it. Another item that I will cherish. Last but not least on the Fab Five, Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and open this one for you. This is the hot mag. Hot mag of the night. Ricky Romero on the back. Scottie, wishing you all the best in the future. Your friend, Dory Funk Jr. How awesome is this? Now, we've gone from Detroit to Georgia, and now we are in Texas. The Pat O'Dowdy presents the Bone Crusher official souvenir program, Odessa, Texas. And the reason that this one is so special to me is because on the inside, it says, are you ready? It says, Dory Funk Jr. is your new heavyweight champion of the world. Gene Kanitsky drops the title after a rough battle. Tuesday night, February 11th, 1969, in Tampa, Florida, Dory Funk Jr. took the world heavyweight title from tough old Gene Kanitsky. 12,000 screaming fans witnessed this momentous occasion. Eyewitness accounts report that the new champion had a rough and stormy time with the big one who has held the title since way back when. We will have for you many more accounts for the activities of the new champ, new pictures, new film, new press releases, but the same Dory William Funk II, heavyweight champion of the world. Let's hear it for Junior, a new kind of champion, real cool. Now remember, this took place, he won the title February 11th, 1969, and this is just, this program came out, do you see that? February 18th, which is Dr. Reggie's birthday, by the way. But this is hot off the press. 7 days after winning the world title, got to be his first cover of any sort. Program wrestling, if you got something quicker than that, show it to me. But here we are, rare as can be, signed by the man himself, the legend, the true legend, the true legend, the true icon, Dory Funk Jr. Hopefully you've enjoyed the Dory Funk Jr. walk down memory lane. Unbelievable wrestler. Still going strong, by the way. We're in the Mid-Atlantic tonight, where I grew up, because the great thing about Dory Funk Jr., yes, he's world champion, but man, go back and look. Correct me if I'm wrong. 4 times Florida heavyweight champion. 2 times Mid-Atlantic champion. Georgia tag champions with Terry Funk. All the stuff that he did in Japan. Unbelievable career. Can't say enough about it. The guy is just unbelievable. He's the real phenomenal one, Dory Funk Jr. All right, let's open a package and let's see what's in it. Now remember, I'm a collector. When I open a package, it could be anything. I mean, on the walls here in the Wrestler Weekly Man Cave, we got everything from horse racing to boxing to New York Yankees. I'm a big fan. Clemson Tigers, football, comic books, Marvel, Daredevil, it doesn't matter. It could be anything. So let's open it up. Got the trusty scissors right here. This is coming from Kennesaw, Georgia. Kennesaw, Georgia. I wonder if that is near, I'm going to have to look that up. Kennesaw, is that near Brunswick? Not quite sure. I'm sure someone will leave a comment and let me know if I'm close. And I can tell you this one is packaged extremely well. Now, there is a lot of tape to try to get through this one. Here we go. This is a better avenue. It says fragile on the cover. Oh, man. Do you know what this is? I can tell you right now, this is not wrestling. Oh boy, this is a good one. Now, if you have been following Wrestler Weekly, Season 3, okay, Season 3, I partnered with my great buddy here in Raleigh, North Carolina, Alex. He owns Raw Records, R-A-W, Raw Records. And he and I had a little partnership So I was spotlighting a lot of vinyl records. I'm a big vinyl record guy too. That's over back in that corner. And so if you go to season 3, you'll see that as I start every show with a album of the week, and then we jumped into some wrestling mags and some guests. But this is I've been trying to track this thing down for a long time. I finally found it, and I know Dr. Reggie is going to be jealous of this one. This one is a vinyl album, and it is from, let's see, we got the year on it here. Looks like 1982. Let me just double check that. You know, I'm getting older, so I need, can't read the fine print. There we go, 1982, that's what I thought. A famous album by a famous group. I've seen them in concert a few times. Kiss, the Creatures of the Night. I finally got it. Eric Carr. Oh, wow. Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Ace Frehley. Wow. This is a great one. And just looking it over, remember the Ace was on the cover, but Vinnie Vincent was the guitarist on this. And you know, my brother's a tremendous, huge fan of Vinnie. And just looking it over here, I mean, tremendous. And on the back, Vincent Cusano. That's Vinnie. This one has some great ones, man. Creatures of the Night. But the big one here is War Machine. I mean, that's the one that everybody wants. Wow. I mean, again, another fantastic. Looking it over, looks tremendous, and really, really happy to own it. So let's go with something. I told you now, if I open something that's not wrestling, then I will keep opening until we find something wrestling. And I can tell you, this one, yeah, it's wrestling. This one is wrestling. Now, I picked this mag up because, I love magazines with belts on the cover. And to be honest with you, I had never seen this magazine before. April of 1991, Wrestling USA, close-up on the champions. So it's spotlighting the champions at the time. Looks like we've got some nice color photos inside. My great friend Tommy Rich and Ricky Morton are men on a mission. And this is Tommy Rich and looks like Michael Hayes in a match. Michael Hayes and Tommy Rich. But on the cover is Sting with the big gold. So this one will be nice to, once we can open back up Fan Fest and events, which we hope is soon, be nice to get Sting on the cover of that one signed. And, you know, let's open one more. This one's from Japan. We've been talking about Dory. He had a great career in Japan. And I remember asking Terry Funk once about Giant Baba, and he said that Baba really treated him well, and was just a fine human being, a great man, very gentle soul, as he said. And so this one, I believe this one is going to be a ticket stub. Now I'm gonna look at this. It looks like a ticket stub. Ooh, yes. Now I got into these guys' matches. I didn't know they wrestled. And we talked about Giant Baba, but this is Antonio Inoki versus Bruiser Brody ticket stub. And I've been tracking down a few magazines. Just a phenomenal feud with these guys. Antonio Inoki and Bruiser Brody, are you kidding me? Well, I cannot thank you enough for hanging out with me for the last 30 minutes. Dory Funk Jr., the spotlight on him tonight. And just really happy as we started out with a big bang there. But if you want to follow us, check us out at Wrestler Weekly on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube. Like, give us a comment, give us a thumbs up, all that great stuff. Retweet, comment, you got it. Until next time, fans, so long for now.
Wrestler Weekly coming at you live. Tommy Wildfire Rich. The big debate. Old school, new school. Who cares? Wrestling Weekly, they bring you all the news.